Most wholesalers waste 60 to 70% of their outreach on unqualified prospects because they're using static list criteria with no verification layer. The 8 best lead sources for 2026 solve this by filtering for actual motivation before you ever dial. Probate leads, tax delinquent properties, absentee owner lists, code violations, life event triggers, foreclosure pipelines, multi-channel signal stacking, and verified marketplaces with AI scoring. These 8 sources close deals in 14 to 21 days from first contact versus 45 to 60 days for cold lists. That's a 50 to 65% speed advantage. Motivated sellers are 3 times more likely to close. The rest of this video walks you through how to find them, stack the signals, and build a repeatable pipeline that scales. A motivated seller is a property owner who has real pressure to sell, not just willingness. Financial distress, divorce, probate, code violations, tax liens, foreclosure notice, or absentee status. These are signal flags that tell you the seller has a reason to move fast and accept below-market offers. The difference between a motivated seller and a cold prospect is conversion rate. According to Goliath Data, motivated sellers close 3 times more often than random prospects. That's not a marginal advantage. That's the difference between a part-time business and a scalable operation. AI automation changes this game because it surfaces these signals at scale. AI cuts false positive follow-up by 40%, meaning you skip unqualified prospects before you waste a call. The top 19% of AI-scored leads produce approximately 40% of confirmed wholesale outcomes. This Pareto effect means you stop chasing volume and start hunting precision. In 2026, wholesalers who understand motivation and use AI to verify it close more deals with less effort. The mechanism is signal stacking. A single data point, tax delinquency, probate status, code violation, tells you something. 2 points together tell you something real. 3 points converge on high probability motivation. AI automation pulls data from multiple channels: public records, court filings, county assessor databases, code enforcement logs, property tax records, and behavioral signals. Then it scores each property based on your historical conversion profile. According to iSpeed to Lead, AI qualified leads close in 14 to 21 days from first contact to contract, compared to 45 to 60 days for unfiltered cold lists. That speed comes from filtering for actual motivation. Goliath Data runs this math on every property in your target area. It flags which properties match your conversion criteria, which ones you should skip, and which ones have the highest probability of a quick close. The result is a prioritized lead list where the top names are real opportunities, not garbage. You dial the 19% that matter instead of grinding through the 81% that don't. This is how AI beats static lists. It's not about volume, it's about signal clarity. Probate leads convert 40% higher than cold outreach because they're pre-filtered for clear motivation. Absentee owners who live 3 states away have behavioral motivation. Tax delinquent properties have financial motivation. When you stack these signals with AI, you're not guessing anymore. You're targeting. Step 1. Define your target criteria. What areas do you work? What property types? What price range? What seller motivation signals matter most to your business? Probate only? Mixed signals? Foreclosures? This step takes 30 minutes and it frames everything after. Step 2. Pull your first data layer. Start with probate records, tax delinquent lists, and absentee owner lists in your target county. These are public records. County assessor, probate court, tax collector, code enforcement, all free or low-cost sources. You can pull these manually or use a platform like Goliath Data that aggregates them and filters for your criteria in real time. Step 3. Stack your second signal layer. Once you have your initial list, layer in code violations, foreclosure status, and driving for dollars verification. Driving for dollars means physically visiting the property to confirm condition and neglect. This layers visual verification on top of data. It cuts false positives by 40% because you see the property before you call. Step 4. Score and rank your list. Use AI scoring to rank properties by conversion probability based on your historical data or industry benchmarks. iSpeed to Lead serves 12,000 wholesalers using this exact workflow. Score high probability properties at the top. Call those first. Step 5. Build your outreach cadence. Once your list is prioritized, execute a systematic outreach. Phone call day 1, voicemail follow-up day 3, direct mail day 5. Skip tracing for updated contact info if needed. Motivated sellers respond faster because they have real motivation. Your conversion window is 14 to 21 days, so compress your outreach into 2 weeks, not 2 months. Here's a concrete scenario from 2026 wholesale data. An investor in Texas runs 30 to 40 cold calls per week on a static MLS list and closes one deal every 60 to 90 days. That's roughly a 30 to 1 ratio of calls to close. Repeat that math across a year, 1,500 to 2,000 calls for 12 to 15 deals. Cost per acquisition is high. Friction is constant. Now the same investor switches to a motivated seller pipeline using probate, tax delinquent, and absentee owner sources stacked with AI qualification. Week 1. Pull 200 probate leads from the county, 150 tax delinquent properties, and 300 absentee owners. Run them through AI scoring, stack and code violations, and driving for dollars data. Result: 120 high probability leads ranked by conversion likelihood. Week 2. Execute outreach on the top 40 properties across all channels simultaneously. Phone, voicemail, direct mail, skip tracing. Week 3. Start receiving callbacks from motivated sellers. Conversion rate hits 30 to 40% instead of 3 to 5% from cold lists. First deal closes in 14 days instead of 60. Second deal closes in 18 days. By day 45, this investor has 2 closed deals from signal-stacked outreach versus 0 from cold calling. The ratio flips from 30 to 1 down to 10 to 1 or better. According to Real Estate Bees, one customer reported getting a 20x ROI in February 2026 based on their January lead spend. That's not volume, that's precision. That's motivated sellers pre-filtered by AI. Mistake 1, relying on cold MLS lists or zero-filtered prospects. Most wholesalers start here because it's free and feels simple. You get 500 names, you call 500 people, and 3 say maybe. That's a 0.6% response rate. You're chasing volume instead of motivation. What to do instead? Layer in motivation filters. Pull probate, tax delinquent, and absentee data first. Call 500 motivated sellers instead of 500 random prospects. Your 30% response rate versus 0.6% is not luck. It's targeting. Mistake 2, treating every lead equally. Resimply data from 2024 shows 42.83% of leads end up dead for real estate investors. Most of that waste comes from not prioritizing. You call the bottom 20% of your list first because they're alphabetical. By the time you reach the top 20%, the ones with the highest conversion probability, you've burned through budget and time. What to do instead? Use AI scoring to rank your list. Call the top 19% first. That 19% produces 40% of outcomes. Skip the bottom 40% altogether. Mistake 3, single signal sourcing. 1 probate lead, 1 tax property, no verification. You're hoping instead of confirming. What to do instead? Stack signals. Probate plus absentee plus code violation plus driving for dollars confirmation. 3 signals converging is motivation. 1 signal alone is a guess. Mistake 4, ignoring speed. Verify it with signal stacking, then execute fast. That's the entire game.